Hello, everybody. Welcome to Streaming Rainbow. Welcome to Halley's Children. Welcome to Heaven's Eye. Welcome to the end of the rainbow. Welcome. I hoped I would have a really cool thing to end that with a sting, but I didn't. But hey, how's everybody? I hope that everyone is having a good time. I am having a good time. I am here to talk about what has occupied my brain for several years now, um, and which I have been so grateful to be able to, with my friends here, vomit onto the screen for you. Um, and we're here to talk about it because we just finished it up, and it's been a ride. So, without further ado, let's talk about Hallie's. Who's got a question? Somebody's got a question.
Um. Uh. What the fuck, Sarah? Is that a
That
question?
Yeah, what the fuck,
that is
Sarah?
technically a question.
That is a beautiful
No.
one.
What? Where did this? For anybody new to the channel, and for those who've been here for forever, this was our first. We all pitched ideas at the beginning of the birth of Streaming Rainbow, except
Mhm.
for Courtney, because Courtney was just a fan, and then we roped Courtney into our life and never let her go ever. But we all had thoughts about what we wanted to run, and we all collectively agreed that Hallie's was absolutely the front runner for what to go first. So Sarah very bravely went first. So yeah, where did this come from?
Really, it was I wanted I wanted to be the first pick. I wanted to be the first to go, so I had to do a really cool idea that would really grab people. And so I was like, "What do I find so cool?" And I was like, "Superheroes and history and mythology and uh, astronomy and stuff like that." And it just sort of gelled. Uh, into this pitch that I gave, uh, where I just determined, what is the superhero origin story, what how do I want it to be, where do the powers come from, etc., etc. And it really gelled well into something I was able to pitch and got voted for. Yeah.
Um, this is a question that I think I want everyone to answer, but starting with Sarah,
Yeah.
is this from beginning to end? How did is this how you thought it would end? Like, did we follow the path, or did we wildly divert from what you thought would happen?
um, in the beginning, uh, I had I had a bit of Heaven's Eye in the beginning. Um, I had the aliens and what they were up to. The alternate reality episode came later, but I had the germination of Heaven's Eye in the beginning. It's the story has taken some interesting turns, and it has grown as it went by. But all in all, I think it stayed on the track where it did. I don't want to say I had it on a track because I didn't really. It told the story and asked the questions that I wanted it to do, and that is what, to me, uh, is the path that it was on. So yes, it stayed the same, I guess.
And yeah, everybody else, for your characters, for our characters, did as you started, did you finish as you planned when you started?
Jelena had no plans. Jelena had pre-empowerment hopes and dreams that I was fully prepared for her to just kind of let go as part of her character arc. And then it took her centuries, but she kind of lived the life that she had envisioned for herself. Like, she had always wanted to be a mother, and that was always really important to her. She always wanted to be a teacher in one way or another, and like, those were not things that were like necessarily sought out specifically for her, but they did kind of just organically fall into her story, which was really kind of nice. But no real, this is where I want to take this character and have her exist, and this is what I want for her. Like, I don't necessarily think that that was not, I know that that's not kind of how I think about characters, really. They kind of just like live in the moment and kind of go through things. So yeah.
Cam and David.
My phone just went off. Good. Right as I unmuted. It was ringing. I was gonna say I need to step away for 1 second. But I'll just use that opportunity to talk about Habfor. So maybe that's why Habfor and Jelena gelled really well together. Maybe because I had a plan for Habfor, and then I've talked about this a couple times, but maybe 5 minutes before we were supposed to start recording, there was supposed to be another player in this game that dropped out, and that really changed the math from like, oh, to somewhat more silly-ish characters. Maybe not silly is the right word, right? But certainly much less serious initial plan than I eventually played Habfor, because the other player was supposed to also be like a townie that had a hard life and something like that. So I was like, well, I don't want to, let half the table be that, and I'll just kind of be, although I didn't really, oh yeah, we did do a session 0, so yeah, because I saw Anoush and I was like, oh, okay, so I got to change who I wanted Habfor to be at first, because I did want him to be a little more serious, and then I was like, okay, well, I could be somewhere between Anoush and these others, and there'll be this like scale of drama. And then that changed everything, and then that just started a really bad habit that I think kind of worked out well, of playing Habfor. Like, it happened on accident the first time, and then every time after that it felt, I don't want to say on purpose, but like, I felt like in an inverse relationship to how long our characters had to prepare between seasons in terms of the years in game, right? I wanted as little time to prepare so I could come into it as different of a mindset as possible, right? Because when I picked it up for the second season, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then I kind of like built Habfor from the memory of Habfor in session 1. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of cool because it's like however many 100 years later. So at some point, you are just a different person. Mm-hmm. So that became kind of cool. And then this last season, my philosophy was I was reminded of something as I was preparing for a different project. It was something really important a writing teacher said to me, which was that, like, we were talking about PCs in our writing, and it was the idea of, somebody said something, we were talking, I can't even remember what the like subject was, but somebody said something to the effect of like, well, that's not really realistic. And my writing professor said, like, that's the fucking point. That is the point of something to write, like, to something to do, that stop thinking of these characters in a novel or in a piece of work that you're producing as people, because they're fucking not. They're a tool for you to say something. And so I was trying to live with that and the dichotomous relationship of the fact that I think playing a character this long, you can't not self-insert. So I was trying to was trying to think of this season. What do I want Halfthor to say? If it's the last thing I'm going to say to this audience as Halfthor. So, long answer, no. Short answer, also no.
That's exactly how I thought Anoush would turn out. To a T, every twist, every turn, knew there was aliens. No, like, what? Okay, so I don't think I had, like, a want or a plan for what he would, like, turn out to be at the very end of it all. But I would, like, go on walks and I would, like, think about him, right? And I would think about, okay, at this stage of his life, if everything keeps going the way it's going, how is it going to turn out? And it would always, like, turn out to be like this, like, hyper capitalist evil corporate man who was like trying to.
You wanted to become Elon Musk.
I didn't want to, right? Like this, I don't
therapy.
plan for this. I would just like go and watch, and I would like see him in like a giant skyscraper, like looking out from an office onto like a fiery hellscape of a city. And like clones of Anoush would just like march through the city. So I would have like those flashes. But I thought it was really cool.
Can we just like pause for a second to contextualize what you
I
just
thought
said?
it was really interesting. How at the very beginning, Anoush was like this like naive but very intellectual like little boy, and then towards the middle he was going on this like very dour like kermuffin-y like hermit in the ground evil man, but then kind of came full circle right before he died, and like ended this like jovial like I'm just like happy that everybody in my life and I really think like a big part of that was like the decision to bring Pagan along with us. Like I think that very much had an impact on who Anoush was, because I was like, no
It's
matter
amazing
how
what this
hard I
stuff will
fucking
do.
tried, yeah, like I was connected to like those two as a pair. But no, it was a really interesting story, and I'm happy he didn't become a corporate asshole.
I mean, yeah, I'm really glad that the from campaign 1 from Hastings, we were all joking about how Halfthor and Anoush would be at the end of the world fighting each other, and that didn't happen, which is very
It didn't
nice.
happen.
Ida, I'm kind of in the same boat as far as I don't really think about, just in general for characters, I don't think about long-term goals, because in gameplay I want to see what happens. I want to react to things. And the Ida is obviously very special to me, but the genesis of Ida, what, 2-3 years ago when we thought of these characters, was how would it be to be in a feminine body but be not just trans but just fully non-binary and devastatingly poor, abused, and but in the most vulnerable, not most vulnerable, but as a female body, and then to be given a gift like they were given. So I felt like I played them. I feel like they stayed pretty true to what my thought was from the beginning. Then they also taught me a lot, obviously, because here's Eli and it was Lara when it was Ida to begin. So I will say, I did say this to Sarah. I now desperately want to write as much fan fiction as possible, because Ida was very still waters. They had very loud and outgoing siblings who were very quick to talk about what was on their minds. So Ida didn't talk a whole lot about what was going on with their life. So yeah, part of me wants to just write a fan fiction for every decade that they were alive. Just little short vignettes of like just check-ins with what they were up to, turning into cryptids in the woods and just being a general menace for especially towards the end there. But I always pictured them, they want to live as long as they can. Anoush beats them out because Anoush can't die. But yeah, I pictured them kind of being the ancient elven oracle at the end of the universe too. Just being there to kind of help guide and be some mythical creature that helps guide humanity and whatever else is out there in the universe towards the end. After learning as much as they can, be a teacher. So yeah, I was very thrilled. I was very thrilled with Ida, and I'm going to miss them very much. So, next question, guys. Anybody have a question?
This is for the rest of the group except Cam because they already answered the question. Instead of a homicidal oligarch, when your mind wandered, like without any input, maybe at the beginning of Heaven's Eye, before we, because I don't know about you guys, but before we played, I feel like every time I play with Sarah, and this is one of my favorite things about playing with Sarah, it's really hard for me to use my pattern recognition stuff and my ability to generally, I feel like, pretty accurately predict human behavior to get a. That was the other part of like playing Halfthor, right? It was just like, I can't even fucking guess what this woman's doing, so I just gotta get in the game and play. Um, but when your mind did wander, perhaps on walks or wherever, at the beginning of Heaven's Eye, because I'll say I did have an idea of like what I thought Halfthor would do and how different that was, because for me I thought that, because I definitely don't do end to end, and I thought about this question like as I was answering in that long rambly thing, where I was like, I kind of do think from like season to season though, like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I definitely thought Hathor was gonna die, old bodied, sort of shut down, surrounded. You know, that almost like oh my god, what's that fucking Nolan film right now? Interstellar. That like Interstellar end. Um, and it just didn't. But yeah, I definitely thought that that's how he would go. Was like, yep, he got the things done and passed the torch. And instead he just died. I like to think like it wasn't even in battle. I think it was just like a piece of munitions fell, or like a hangar accident, or like something like that. You know, like I don't know.
You still got to go to
I just
Valhalla. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not real.
So what at the beginning of Heaven's Eye, what did you think? From your expectations but pre the season, how did things change for you? Particularly, I think with the big twist, I think threw us all for a pretty big loop with the
Such
time
a good
jump.
twist.
I think that's also the reason Cam can't answer the question, because the time jump like completely changed how they played that last episode.
100%.
Cam
Courtney,
was
do you
kind
want
of
to talk about
forced.
Jelena in especially in like you were so tied to what Halfthor did. So what about Jelena?
I don't know. Like, well, we kind of spoke about it in game. She had kind of hoped to give everything up and just live her final days as a mortal. And then, like, even within the last episode, there was still, like, I was still thinking about it as it kind of, like, continued to progress. I was like, what's her jumping off point? And it never really showed up, because I don't know that she would. I don't know that there's ever a point in time where a parent can look at their kids and be like, there's like, you're ready. You're ready to, I'm ready to have you live a life without me seeing what you get to do.
Hmm.
So I think without giving up the abilities, which had been a process for her. Yeah, I don't know. Her story ended up millennia longer than she would have intended.
Mhm.
I don't think that when we went into Heaven's Eye, don't think she would have ever have left Earth to begin with. Or if she did, like, it would have been like within our solar system for a few months and then come home, because I really wanted to tie her to the Earth, kind of how similarly to how Mirwine is tied to the Earth, right?
Mhm.
Nature is a part of her, and when she's without it, she's diminished somehow. But that's kind of the beauty of nature, is that it thrives wherever you bring it. So I think that kind of works with her too. Like, she found a way to set roots outside of her ecosystem. So yeah, I don't know. Did that answer your question? It's yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it definitely does, right? Because I think it similarly, my mentality changed in the way that, like, we had an idea of what these things look like from Challenger,
Mhm.
or at least that they were like non-humanoid, and I think not necessarily consciously linking it to necessarily Jelena or Mirwine, but the idea that, like, Halfdor fights on behalf of humanity, right? Not race, creed, color, religion, etc. Right? It's like humanity, and then through this process, I think without the loop, he doesn't leave either. I think expanding that thought of, like, oh, we're all in fucking chains. It's the same thing. There's just, like, I couldn't. It would have felt disingenuous, and this is where that same professor said, right, like, the idea of unlikely and out of character are different concepts, right? It would have felt out of character for Halfdor to be like, oh, there's like a bunch of oppression going on and I could potentially do something about it, but I'll just live forever here in pseudo paradise. Yeah, that's fine. Good luck out there, guys. You know?
I think I can imagine it. If I'm putting myself in Halfthor and Yelena's shoes, it probably helped that your babies weren't mortal. Really. Like, once the library came, everybody had
Oh
extended
yeah.
life at that point. So it's not like, because
Yeah.
that was the whole reason to not have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, I don't want to watch them die. So that I thought I got from you guys that that was a big hindrance in general, and a big
Mm-hmm.
reason to say we're done. And then it's like, and then yeah, then Sarah again. I'm with David. I don't question anything with Sarah. I don't try to guess with Sarah. If there's a campaign with Sarah that I'm playing with, I'm like, I'm just gonna sit back for the ride because I don't fucking know what's gonna be coming my way. I just know it's gonna be fun. So
I did get
yeah.
close this time, though. I almost spoiled her plans.
You did.
I
Oh,
was
Oh,
I
could we?
was a literal half second of speaking before Courtney, hoping that she would pick up what I could put down.
God, it was
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, can we talk about that? And
A hope
like
and a dream.
how much we shut off the recording and Sarah was like, I was shitting myself.
I was. I was.
I was tracking in my brain, right? And I was like, I think we're close, but I'm not that good at math. And that's why and luckily I think somebody else asked first. I think it was you, Eli, asked what the score was or whatever.
I was
And
keeping
I was like,
track. Yeah. So it was so for the vote, guys.
or maybe it was,
I
yeah,
think
maybe it was Cam, and then you said it.
we can say that we were all being very carefully keeping, well, not all, we were keeping track of the count, and Sarah was being such a cool customer, and then good one, we said humanity was worthy, and then we stopped recording and Sarah almost vomited.
I was not ready for you to screw it up. I uh I had it set up to where as long as 3 out of 4 of you did not go against what I thought, then everything would be fine. But it got close, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah, I
shit!"
wasn't even sure I was gonna try until Cam's, right? Because I felt like Ida would almost certainly, like, it would have been a
Yeah.
big surprise for Ida to
Yeah.
not say worthy. But I felt like Anoush, I was just like, I feel like I might as well flip a coin because it feels like even if he feels ambivalent towards humanity or like they are worthy, like there's just so many variables in the evaluation of this question that trying to predict Anoush's outcome on that or stance would have been. And I kind of wanted to play it honest in that way of like, this is going to kind of happen in our heads, so let it happen in our heads, and just kind of let things fall where they may. Which is why, like, I don't, it just is. It was just, I'll get you one day, sir.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I didn't have I didn't know what Yelena's answer was going to be, and then I think it shifted about halfway through her speech.
Mm.
So there was the potential for her to be like, no, but then she's like, nope, my kids are part of this fucking planet. God damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
So.
I had the distinct honor of getting to give both answers. So
Yeah.
because Dio got to say "fuck you," which
Yeah.
was both very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really good. It was very good. Um, for Ida at the very beginning of Heaven's Eye, like I said, without the twist, Ida was on track. The thing I really liked about the alternate the what never um was getting to play a much more brutal Ida in a way that like was something that they could have always been. Like if not for their siblings, if not for Anoush and Habfor and Jelena, they would have become a beast. They would have become feral,
Mm.
which and much more vicious. And because I think that at the Ida wanted to learn everything, but Ida was a naturally cynical person. So not having to have family temper that would have been we kept making the joke that no one in the Hastings crew had any empathy. That wasn't gonna start for Ida. In fact, I went back and took empathy away from Ida when we had that one dark timeline. But yeah, I we have said in our private talks, but I could play a whole campaign just of dark timeline Ida. I love them so much. So yeah.
Lovely.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is a pivotal moment, like a turning point in your character's arc or story that you didn't expect to happen?
I don't mind going first on this one, just because it really shocked me. Um, the the vision that Robert gave at Ticonderoga. really, really fucked Ida up so much that I had to go to Sarah and be like, Ida needs a break. Like, it made me play a new character in Challenger,
Mm-hmm.
because Ida was so freaked out by the vision of the Challenger explosion that they couldn't be anywhere near it. Like, it was a true, like, moment of, and because of that, and again, this is, check out the fan fiction, join the Discord and check out the fan fiction as I write it. But it made Ida was so insular with their community as like the impact, like their family, of being everything they had, and it made them go out, and then they had that whole life in San Francisco, as part of the queer community, the budding queer community in California. So because of that, they went and had a different life that wasn't connected to their family. So, but that was the big pivotal moment for Ida, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting how Anoush and Habfor had this very natural and apparent, like, on-screen, I don't know if you want to call it rivalry or whatever, tiff, millennia-long tiff.
Friction.
Beef.
Yeah. Beef. That's what I would call it.
Yeah.
We got a mostly white audience according to social media. Sorry, audience. It's true.
Hi, audience. But yeah, hi.
I'm not sorry. You apologize.
One of the things it's just interesting hearing you talk about, like, your philosophy behind it, because, like, one of the things that I was thinking about specifically in this season, and that why Dark Timeline Habfor was so hard, is because I was like, it's really important to me right now to say what I want to say with Habfor, to not let them become cynical no matter what. That insular and sad and upset and whatever is fine, but the world is filled with cynical people purely out for revenge right now, and it is fucking ruining us, right? Yeah. And I think particularly as playing, like, a white man, I was like, what the fuck does he have to be cynical about? He could just, like, stop this fight and be fine. Like, if he was just, like, turned it off, like, he's fine. So I need him to have a better motivation than just, like, my life sucks. And I think, like, keeping that vision is something, like, I'm very proud of. And then, like, similarly, like, I think it was very important for me to do the opposite, right? Of just, like, from the beginning, I was like, I want to slowly expand this guy's understanding of the world and what, like, being a tribe or a people or a community means. And I think, like, it's just, like, so interesting that it feels like ideologically on paper, Ida seems more in direct opposition to Habfor's sort of philosophies, but it was Anoush's choices that led to that.
I think it's, well, that's the thing. Like, as somebody who watched it for all 5 seasons, like, Habfor and Anoush were so fucking smart. And you both were very secure that you knew what was the right thing to do. And then, but you guys didn't agree on what that was. So it's like, two very stubborn people who are absolutely secure in the knowledge that they are right.
Yeah, I think, like, a lot of with Anoush was a little bit more, like, moral philosophy differences that were incompatible.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, I think that particularly towards the end, right, like, as more major players have heard it, and I think, like, especially, like, once we could trust Robert, right, I think I tried to show that, particularly with the other PCs, that, like, Habfor doesn't necessarily, like, want to run the show or make decisions, but also thinks that, like, decisions that generally disregard life are bad. And I think that was like a lot of Anoush's early decisions were just like, they're not real people. We're the only people. And like, I don't know, like crazed, almost like, I don't know, eternal fever. I think of like the scene in the like sequence, I should say, in Interview with the Vampire when Kirsten Dunst gets turned into a vampire. That's
Mm.
what I
Oh.
think about of early Anoush with Eternal Life.
Oh, I mean, like very much. Like a lot of like, I think those viewpoints on like otherness and being something more than or different than like the life that he was like throwing away was coming from like Lestat's philosophy of like, I am what I am. Don't try to put me in a cage or tell me that your moral philosophy is something I have to confine to.
Was there a turning point for Anoush? Was there a
Oh,
pivotal moment for you?
I mean, it was so interesting, like just like trying to live in this character because the entire like dream goal of him finding this star and tracking it down was to save his family with the power that it gave him. And so coming into literally the second season, everything his life purpose he has failed and he still has to go on. Like it's like, yes, great. Ida and Habfor had like came and joined him and were like part of his like family and they were like him. But his family was murdered and he didn't do anything to stop it. Like his entire life purpose was like a moot point. So from that point on, it was very much like, why did this happen? How do I optimize my entire like eternity to hyper focus on one specific thing that I can't figure out because I don't have all the puzzle pieces for until the Morrigan. Like when she came in and changed fate, that kind of like fried him. And then Habfor like calling the vote and trying to get him exiled from the community, which is like the whole like dichotomy between Habfor and Anoush and like him and Ida and them is that he just wanted to be left alone to do like the most optimal thing in his mind, and everybody else was trying to stop him. And then when he got what he wanted, was like everybody was telling him, "No, we'll leave you alone. Go away." He had to really sit with himself and like think of like, oh, I am better with these people, right? Like I don't learn more like by myself digging a hole. Like there is this relationship with Pagan. I can't like seem to let him go no matter how hard I try. So that was like from that moment on, it was like this uphill battle of like stacking the new achievements of Anoush learning to be like a normal human again and pick up the pieces of like his life and think of himself as a cog in a machine or like a person in a community as opposed to like this singular idea of like why did everything go wrong, what is the purpose of life now, and then weirdly enough it was really fucking easy once the dark timeline happened because that I was just like, oh okay, just let the pressure valve go, like he doesn't have to like build up any moral like high ground anymore. That's just like everything sucks.
Well, everything. You were really into family. You were still a family man.
Yeah, but they all agreed with him at that point. It's like,
Correct. Except for
Anoush
wanting to all
diesel.
die. Yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah. I think turning points for Jelena were bringing back the Morrigan, because that was such a fantastic character, but that character came in such in unknowingly to her was such a foundational keystone to who Jelena was, whether she realized it or not. And being changed by the Morrigan was in some ways more more impactful to her than the initial starfall, because the initial starfall, she feels, even though she knew something was coming, it was still chance to her. Like, it she chose to take a walk and a fucking star fell on her. Like, that was chance. But the Morrigan said, "Can I give you some power?" And even though she didn't really understand what that would entail for her, she still had a choice in that. So that was a really interesting moment for her. And I think even like that, the series of events that followed after her and throughout the remainder of Ticonderoga, Jelena didn't really know who she was. It was there were stones shifting, and she needed to find what was important to her, and if there was anything that she was going to be willing to let go. And I think her she held on to kind of those foundational things that people will hold on to. She held on to family, she held on to heart, but I think she realized that there's something in her that in some ways would seek power, not for the sake of it, but for the responsibility of it, I guess. I don't really know if it's not a fully coalesced thought, and maybe if I had weeks to think on it, I'd have a better answer. But that was a pivotal moment for her. And then of course the decision, the choice. Again, it came down to the choice to have her children. That those were very, very pivotal moments to her.
I think I understand what you're saying. I think that's another thing that was like a really more unspoken bond that maybe, whether conscious or not, maybe drew Habfor and Jelena together, which is the idea of like a a reluctance to authority, right? This idea that like I don't want to be in charge, but the bare facts of my reasoning say that like if I don't do something to take control of the situation, like that's I didn't to be clear, like I didn't want to play Habfor as this. I just didn't want to go down as a merry band of sociopaths because we followed what Anoush said. Um, I like, and again, like
Good.
I think that's sort of towards the end of the last few seasons, right? And like that's where my pivotal. So there's a few, right? I think I can't narrow it down to one. One was definitely his family dying the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
Had no idea that coming. Had no, and I like that. I uh, one of his first motivations was reluctant spy, and his whole build to start was this like the like prince who doesn't want to be, right. It's this guy of like born into this position, and I just want to go kill people and hunt things and do whatever and be a wild free man, and like I have this title. And so that changed a whole like, oh shit, what, I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna do now. Which is part of, I'm gonna sit on a dock for 600 years, I guess. And then the second one was the Robert turn. The moment that I was like, okay, we can trust Robert. Like I said, one, like represented this like release of responsibility, but then two, I think the turn of Robert combined with his death was huge because Habfor felt like he finally had an equal he could trust, intellectually, right? You guys were all his equals on a human level, like that's something that for sure he thought about all the time, right? But as far as like strategy and planning and like that kind of thing, he was like, okay, now is someone who like is both on the same page and as capable. And then him dying was this like, oh, I don't have training wheels on this bike anymore. Um, and then I think the last one, and this is like I probably would have went through this more like if Habfor, if this was like a solo story about Habfor or a like a smaller table of just like 2 or something like that. This is a sub theme I probably would have got into a little bit more, which is Sarah has described to me once before, and I think she said it out loud here too, so I don't think I'm revealing anything. Gilgamesh as a father who wants to do his best, but does, and forgive me if I'm butchering this, Sarah, but doesn't know how and doesn't know how to be better. And that is sort of the encapsulation of someone, open kimono a little bit here, someone with like a difficult relationship with their father. That is like a deep and unsettling fear that is never fully gone, right? And like that's something that I wanted to play Halfthor as a for sure not perfect character that always meant well, that made bad decisions from time to time, even if he thought they were the best. And so seeing that kinship with Gilgamesh, both deeply upset David and because I wanted to kill him. And I was like, he's a mole. He's gotta be a mole. So I was mad when I didn't get the opportunity to play out revenge fantasies. And then as Halfthor, that sort of, real recognizes real. Halfthor felt like a pretty big failure a lot too.
Yeah. Oh, Gilgamesh.
I have one last question. It's pretty serious before Courtney asks any real questions she has. Some of our characters have been named, have attached named celebrities. Pagan, shout out Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o as our beautiful Bast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's any other.
Hild.
But
Who was Hild?
Did Hild have a?
Yeah, Hild was Amber Benson.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Right. Who else would you cast as main characters? I would posit. I would just give 2 offerings first, as you all think of your answers. I would like you to respond with your character and maybe 1 PC at least. Oh, Courtney's ready. So I always thought of early Halfthor as like a young Alexander Skarsgård, but then I've thought of like older Halfthor as like early mid 40s buff Daniel Day-Lewis. But obviously Alexander Skarsgård is actually a Viking, so he's like 6'5" or 6'6", something.
Yeah,
and I found out he did special forces. What the fuck?
They all have to do military service. I guess I saw that.
But he chose to do
yikes.
the fucking most. He chose to do the SEALs. Like they were like, oh yeah, you're a celebrity son. You can like take a cushy office job, and he's like, no, I'm gonna go into active danger and psychological torture for 9 months just for training. Like what the fuck? Anyways, sicko. Now I see how the Northmen's so good. Speaking of the Northmen, my second proposition for staffing or for casting would be Willem Dafoe as Robert.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I've been watching a lot of Willem Dafoe media. First it was an accident, and then, hyperfixations are weird.
Trying to figure out somebody for Jelena was very difficult. So I picked someone who aesthetically I think would fit for her, although I believe this person is much taller than Jelena actually would have been. But the plus size Victoria's Secret model Ashley Graham.
Oh yeah,
she's a stunningly beautiful
David's
woman.
Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I don't know if she can act, but that's probably fine. All you got to do is put on the waterworks, and what white woman can't? So perfect. Self-call
That
out,
truly is
maybe.
your superpower. That is your superpower, Courtney. As I could not cry as much as you cried. Jelena cried so much in all of your seasons.
She did.
So much crying.
She didn't cry too much in Challenger.
That's
Too much.
true.
I didn't say she
was-
didn't. I just said too much.
She was too busy being absolutely fucking terrified.
Yeah,
Panic.
a little bit. Yeah, so I took this question seriously for a couple of days. So I have a list for like all the main cast of who I think, but let's keep it short. People get out your fingers so you can start Googling who some of these people are. For Hurrit, there is an actor. I do believe they're South American. Please don't quote me on from where specifically. Alex Meraz. That's Meraz. I think they fit what I imagine.
This is an American media company. Please say Z properly.
No.
Weird Canadian.
This is an anti-colonial production. Please.
Anyway,
This is
this is what I
Jelena and Habfor
imagine.
got divorced.
This is what I imagine Hurrit would look like in modern era onwards. Gilgamesh, I do believe this actor is from American Gods. They played the Ifrit, Musa Quraish, a stunningly beautiful man. Shall I go through my list for everybody else?
Well, let people do their character
Okay.
first, and their two, and then I think we could go
got
back
it.
because the other person I always thought for Gilgamesh is, I think he's Gilgamesh in the Eternals too. Is I can't remember the Chinese American actor. Oh my god, or he's not even Chinese American. I think he's just Chinese. But he's the guy who played. I think he's named as Gilgamesh in the Eternals, the MCU movie. He's really good.
I used them for my inspiration for my character art, but Ida is Bella Ramsey. Very awesome non-binary British actor. And for Dionysus, Brett Goldstein of Roy Kent fame from Ted Lasso. Also, Hercules, was he like the Hercules for like 5 seconds at the end credits of Marvel of Love and Thunder? Just short king, so hairy, so much sass. Yeah, but those are my kids. And Dionysus still counts as an NPC, so there we go.
Yeah.
I fully at the end of Challenger I said, Sarah, he's yours, kill him if you want.
I'm
We
so
were very
bad at
stuck
this.
about it.
I have
One of the
no
ones we
idea.
recommended was Dev Patel.
Dev Patel is. I'm thinking of like Rami Malek. That's the first person that comes to mind.
Okay.
Because I could also
see
see
Rami.
him being Nikola Tesla. So that's really
Rami
the
does kind of
parameter
have-
for me.
Rami does have kind of the ability to look unhinged, which is
Yeah,
a new
yeah, exactly. Right. I've seen him in Robot or Mr. Robot. He could,
Yeah.
he could do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking like Green Knight Dev Patel is why too.
Dev Patel, honestly,
Like Rogue
hot
One.
as shit though. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. No,
Dev
I think probably.
if-
I don't know.
Jason
okay, either one.
Statham and Dev Patel.
I know,
What a
right?
power.
Like, and I'm thinking like
Okay.
That
who would
is-
go
there's-
good with like Bella Ramsey too.
There's like 100 couples in West Hollywood right now that look like Dev Patel and
Yeah.
Jason Statham together.
Yeah. In it.
and it,
Hear me out.
incredible.
Cultural miscast a little bit. I think Pedro Pascal would be very good as Anoush as well.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
thinking of him for Dionysus.
Yeah.
I feel like
could
he's
see
a little
that.
too smooth. not like languid, long, not smooth, not smooth as in like a smooth character, because Dionysus is a smooth character. Like he's too like, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking Fantastic Four.
I
I
mean,
think he could do anything.
he true. I think that Pedro could have. Pedro has the. He's an amazing. Hi Pedro, we love you very much. The ability to, again, Dionysus was so hair trigger, and I could see like Golden Circle, whatever, the Kingsman, where Pedro turned heel. Oh,
Mhm.
this is so good. Not the look, but the energy of Josh Brolin as Thanos for Gilgamesh. Like that kind of like bad dad. Not the, seriously, not like, cannot have fully wrong skin color, but yeah, that kind of like barrel chested dad
Mm.
mode.
I
Wait,
like
okay, guys, no. Here, I fixed it. So,
You think-
Rami Malek is Anoush, Dev Patel is Josh.
yes.
incredible. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the
I
Yeah, I
guy.
can see
Dev
it.
Patel
Yes.
smoking cigarettes in a room full of high expensive computers.
I would also like to recant Daniel Day-Lewis and say that older Halfdor would be played by Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Nice one.
I love it.
I think he has green eyes, but I can't really tell you. Okay, let's go through the list, Court. What you got?
Let's-
Oh, no, Sarah.
let's-
Sorry, Sarah. Sarah, first of all, has to tell us who her favorite PC is. And
I do not.
cast them.
Tell us. Hey, tell your friends that you've been friends
Sorry,
with for
NPC.
so
I meant to
many
say
years.
NPC. That's what I meant to say. That's a way worse
Hey,
question. I
Sarah?
did not mean to put you in that
Hey,
position.
Sarah.
Sarah,
Hey,
which one's
hey.
your favorite kid?
Hey, who do you
not
like better?
Anoush,
Which
'cause
of the
he's not
four
my
of us?
favorite.
I meant to say NPC.
No.
I'm sorry. Although
Oh my
still a
God.
difficult question, a much less
Sarah,
difficult one.
The most non-confrontational, kindest woman ever. Sarah, pick a favorite.
Yeah, everybody knows
Yeah,
it's
no.
Jelena.
Yeah, it should be. No, yeah, I want to know who was your favorite NPC?
Depended
check.
on the show. Depending on the show. Like for Ticonderoga and Belgrade, both, it was Robert. Then in Challenger, I think Josh.
Josh was
And-
so good in Challenger.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the others, but if I had to like do an all-time favorite, I mean, I love Bast. She's so special.
She's so hungry. Always.
She is.
Can we say that Timothy Chalamet was Veermond? Because we never got to see that kid ever.
Sure.
Timothy Chalamet.
I like,
He appears for a
I
moment and then he dies.
I think Robert is your. Then he should be Sean Bean. I
Yeah.
I think Robert is arguably your best PC ever. I think
Oh, yeah?
Robert is. Yeah,
Robert was great.
of all the games we've ever played, and I've seen you. Yeah, there's something. So. I feel like stories are compelling because of tension, right? The will they, won't they of The Office, the like, are there aliens or not of X-Files, the like whatever, right? Like that's what drives us. And Robert had such a tension of himself, and he felt so tortured, and it felt like every reveal about him. I feel like this is something that most authors do, or directors, whatever, right? Storytellers, general. Sometimes reveals of like, oh, they were good all along, feel kind of cheap and like, all right, I guess. But Roberts felt very legitimate and natural for the time, and it felt like a reflection of what at the time were kind of considered liberalish values to like in the progression of humanity. And I felt like for that way he was such a good representation of humanity that enhanced the story greatly. I just wanted to make sure I give you kudos for that.
You had
He's
great
incredible.
villains. because Robert was amazing. The Morgan was fucking terrifying. I was so scared of the Morgan. They were such a mind fuck.
Fillmore
so
made
good.
me feel actual rage for days.
Yeah.
Fillmore was a cock.
I would play Halfthor one more time just for a battle royale and a chance to kill Fillmore.
Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You play great villains.
Thank you.
Yeah, Fillmore pissed me the fuck off for real. I would play that piece of shit.
That little rat.
I feel like
Somebody
the guy who
rat-like.
played Peter Baelish.
I was gonna say
Oh.
Pete Davidson.
Or
Pete Davidson.
Davidson.
He's not. Well, he gets
Or-
a little bit of muscle.
Or
Just like a little bit.
What's the guy from the piano? Adrian Brody.
I think.
what about
Team Edward?
What about
What's
Adam
his fucking
Driver?
Robert Pattinson? Who? Adam
I
Driver.
know,
Adam
he's-
Driver would be good too.
Yeah.
Adam Driver would be good.
Wasn't there a third bandit? Well, the one that you slit
Oh.
their throat in the church?
Oh
Mulan.
yeah.
Mulan.
Oh,
I don't know.
And then
maybe
Askelin.
Yeah.
And Askelin fell off a horse.
Fell off a
died.
horse.
I'm still convinced that Fillmore killed him.
I want Hannah. Speaking of Ted Lasso, though, I want Hannah Waddingham to play Hippolyta.
Hell yeah.
I could see it.
Fuck yeah. 100%.
Okay, I want to get through this real quick.
Yeah.
Too bad. I already started talking.
Good.
My cast for Anoush is Omid Abtahi. They played Salim in American Gods, or Dr. Pershing in The Mandalorian. They have very soft brown eyes. They're maybe not as handsome as Rami Malek, but I don't know. I think they exude a very interesting capacity for sadness that I think was kind of always present in Anoush in one way or another. And then for Ida, I have multiple characters multiple people because they are ever changing.
Yeah.
For Hastings Ida, I had Emma Corrin. These are all. I also made sure to choose non-binary actors.
That's very sweet. Yeah.
With the exception of Ticonderoga. So Emma Corrin, Jack Haven, who was in, I haven't seen it, but I saw the TV Glow. And then Mason Alexander, who plays Lust in Sandman. These are all potential options for Ida in various times for me. And then for Ticonderoga specifically, an indigenous actor called Tatanaka. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Tatanaka means, so Tatanaka, means as in MEANS. That's who I would cast as. I'm so sorry. I forget what name they were using in Ticonderoga.
I don't remember either. Because they did end up going by Ida for most of it.
Fair.
But it meant
Anyway.
wolf, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
In Mohican? I can't remember which.
But that's. Oh. I also had a really hard time figuring out who I would cast as Halfthor. I don't think my pick is any worse or better than Skarsgård, but Joel Kinnaman is Norwegian as well, and kind of fits that on the smaller spectrum of the Viking type. So I think that would suit. And then that's it. That's all I've got because everything else has been said.
I do want to give a shout out, actually. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say something really dumb. I was say I think the little rat-faced kid from Stranger Things could play Loki because he looks like a ugly young Tom Hiddleston.
Wolf Finhard?
Yeah.
What? No, just keep it Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, it's just always Tom Hiddleston.
Didn't they get changed at like 14? I thought he was young.
Well, but no,
you grow to adulthood though.
That's right.
That's right. You do. You grow to adulthood. I forgot.
Even so,
Thank
you can
God.
play 14.
We had so many questions. How many more do we want to do?
I think we could
We're
handle
already
a few
like
more.
out. How long do we want to go?
Not much longer, I would say. We haven't. There's. I want to ask at least one more question
Okay.
of Sarah because we've been doing a lot of talking, and I know Sarah
Yes.
prefers that. But I yeah. What the fuck was the arm of Saint George?
That's the question I want to know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Arm of St.
Fuck you.
George. Arm of St. George, in a way, was a big red herring, and
Yeah.
it was like an intentional red herring. There was no core of the Arm of St. George because the Arm of St. George was the neighbors reaching down with holograms to start cells, and that's why whenever you would track it back, it would just like come up empty, because those weren't real people.
Fucking
That
neighbors.
was the Arm of
What
St.
the
George
fuck?
trying was a tool to try to manipulate you guys to feel that the world was hostile and that humanity was hostile and
I feel like
etc.
Jelena said that at some point. Maybe
Wow.
I'm just
That's really
being
fucked
hopeful
up
that
of
I'm
them.
smarter than I think I am.
I know you've definitely said it to me in one of the many. I don't know if it was in the group one or just private conversations of, and I don't even know if you messaged it or spoke it aloud in many of the "what the fuck just happened" conversations.
I I have to say, as Eli watching Cam and Anoush completely spin out, just about like, what does it mean? Like it was that Eli found it very funny. Ina was so fucking frustrated. Ina was like, "Let it go, let it go. It doesn't matter."
Everything means something, and it did.
Okay, 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 okay. Sarah,
Yeah,
was Ghost Anoush from the bad timeline?
was Sinush from the bad timeline.
Because he's the one that was calling to
Yeah, yeah,
warn
yeah,
us.
yeah,
Was he
yeah.
from the
He
bad
was.
timeline? Yeah.
Any
Who's from the
timeline
original bad
Anoush is
timeline?
in is the bad timeline.
No.
Hell yeah.
That microphone's too powerful for you to do that, David.
Sorry.
I just want to know
Yeah.
when, because like,
So
what's
the
the
original
like
timeline
Anoush
was
had
bad,
to
right?
troll us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Original
original
timeline
timeline was
bad.
bad. Because the neighbors worked to make it bad, right?
Yes.
And then later on, Anoush figures out, hey, I can call back in time. Maybe we can fix this, and does that and corrects it enough to get you guys onto the path of saying, yes, humanity, good, yay. And then the neighbors were like, well, fuck that. We're going to retry and push the button a little harder.
Bastards.
And that started
And
the
they
third time.
killed
If
Jason.
it doesn't work the
Statham.
first time, always press the button a little harder. Sarah,
Just killed Jason Statham.
so for the vote, you said that was the moment, and I will venture now to say maybe the most tense moment for you as a GM of like, oh my gosh, how's this gonna go? Well, what are the other moments to you looking back in the story overall where you're like, oh, how is this gonna go?
Yeah.
Because it could like what are our big forks in the road? Like what are the other ways that get us into worse Anoush timelines?
The multiverse of Anoush.
Yeah, it could have gone pretty badly at Ticonderoga if things had gone badly with the Morgan, but
Sorry.
I think that was the biggest possible divergence that I was thinking about. What happens if they? What if they say fuck it? Let the Morgan do what she says. Um, and I didn't have a plan for that. You know, I suddenly 10,000 more and the chaos that would cause. I was like, how would I possibly do that? But
I feel like relying on uh, overwhelming sense of justice is a pretty easy bank for you.
it
I
does
like
help.
the idea of playing 10,000 French soldiers as a hive mind is very funny.
Non. Je te promets, c'est pas quelque chose que tu veux faire jamais. Je te promets.
They
The
share the
Continue.
one
smell
brain
would be.
cell. It's fine.
I can't even imagine what those ships in 1500 France. That's very cool. Yeah, the Morgan moment felt the most tense for me too, in terms of like,
Yeah.
where does this go from here?
Mhm.
Because that was kind of the thing of referencing what we talked about earlier of like not trying to guess your moves. It was kind of just always like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. And the Morgan moment of like, oh shit, is this where the story's turning? Right? Like, is
Mhm.
this the act turn to what eventually turned out to be, right, the evil timeline stuff and the like
Mhm.
Heaven's Eye. Yeah. And so, because obviously, like, not knowing what it was going to be, there was going to be some sort of rug pull reveal, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
Unless somebody else has a burning question, I know what question I want to ask for the last one. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think we
Sarah,
agree
you
on the
already
last one.
answered. It's canon that you want your power to be shape shifting, so you can't choose that one because I'm going to ask this one to you. So rewind. If you had to choose a new character with a new power, who would they be, and what would their power be? Let's just go with the power.
New power. Who dis?
So you
That's hard for Sarah. Sarah's all the powers.
I have all the powers. Yeah, no. For me
Do it.
personally, if shapeshifting is off the market, then I'm probably going to just. I have a I have a weird sort of like, I guess, fantasy of like having the power to uh, learn things that people are trying to convey to me and just like get the meat of it, um, without effort. Um, that is such a power fantasy for me that I go through. Just that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Sarah, you're so fucking pure, dog. Your power fantasy is super empathy.
I just want to get it. Um I just from a superhero this is the hard thing cuz I Ida my thought process with Ida was not power, it was what is an interesting character to play. But if I was just thinking about like a power to have, I probably would have done Mirwine. I probably would have been water manipulation. Because I would have wanted the idea of just drowning people in floating bubbles of water is very fun for me. And like getting to like and it's the Alex Mack of it all. I want to like becoming a liquid and seeping into things and getting around that way and being sneaky.
Mhm.
Um, Still a shape shifting thing. So, but yeah, water manipulation, like our dear Mirwine, would be what I would have liked.
Like usual, I'm going to overcomplicate this. So I think if I was starting over, like if I could give Halfthor a different set of powers that I think would better reflect his journey, I think something like transmutation, some ability to both manipulate matter and adjust himself to, like, almost like a uh the bad guy. Oh my god, and he's a Marvel bad guy that can, he like touches shit and he like turns into it, but he could also like change the molecular composition of things. Holy fucking dog shit.
I keep
I'm
thinking
a
Darwin,
bad
but that's not a
comic
bad
fan.
guy.
No, Darwin's the good DC version. That's the same thing. Kind of. Imagine if Darwin more though could like also touch stuff and turn it into things, and Darwin could only turn because Darwin's the one from Superman, right?
No, I think
That
Darwin
Darwin,
is the X-Men.
yeah.
Oh,
I could
Darwin's
be
the
I
X-Men
could be
guy.
getting
No. Yeah. Absorbing
getting the character
Man.
name.
His name is so
Oh,
simple I couldn't
Absorbing
remember. Absorbing
Right.
Man. Absorbing Man, right? So he could touch anything and become that, but also can, if he's got like the genetic memory stored of touching something, can turn something non-organic into that.
Mm.
But it has to be non-organic, and I think that would be good for Hathor. And then, if I was choosing something for myself, I would not want to sleep, because that seems incredible
Yeah.
to not lose that downtime.
Get in the Discord.
And then, if I was picking a new character, powers just for the sake of like what would be cool / interesting, I would probably pick something like I really like I probably would have done the other thing I was thinking of is a more tuned down version of Ida. From because of like I really like the ability in Umbrella Academy, the like I heard a rumor, the suggestive style of just straight manipulation.
Oh yeah. Oh, Hild. Yes. You said Ida.
Yeah, sorry, I said Ida. I meant I meant
Yeah.
Hild. Sorry.
But Hild. Yeah, Hild is fucking wild.
Yeah, like a less tuned down. I honestly wouldn't have thought to ask for something that juiced.
I don't know that Jelena would. Yelena's a pretty complete character for me. I don't think she'd be any different for like a different power set. So if I were to come into the story with a different character, something that I've always kind of found interesting, and I had to look it up because I knew there was a word for it, but I didn't know what it was. So I'll give you my Google search and what the word is. The word is melanokinesis, and that is ink manipulation. So somebody who's like an artist can create a picture into an actual thing. I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is
Yeah.
cool?
No.
Andy Diamopoulos. What was his name? Sorry, I fucked that up. The guy whose name sounds vaguely like that made-up word because I refuse to believe that it's real. That's insane. Just say ink manipulation. I don't know why science needs to come up with these unnecessary.
Because I wanted to say melanokinesis.
No, I'm not blaming you, Courtney. I'm blaming the people behind this. This is on Big English, not on you, the individual.
Big grammar.
Coming for you, Merriam-Webster.
Fucking bitch ass. Put the U back in color.
Molly.
The British had that one right.
Yeah, well, guess what? Who spelled it that way? Fucking Canada. Ayo.
It's only because you guys can't think for yourself.
Hey, shut up.
Commonwealth.
You just said that you liked the way we spelled it, so fuck off.
Oh, do we have anything else before we turn in?
Salute to the
Hey,
real
Sarah,
ones.
you are a fucking genius. Thank you so much for this gift.
Thank you, sweetie.
It was wonderful. Thank you for my streaming rainbow family this is a weird goodbye for the thing that started off for us. It's what a journey what a journey streaming rainbow has had since this began. Thank you all for watching. Definitely stick around because this I can speak for Sarah because Sarah has said it, but this is not the end of the Halleyverse.
That's
just
right.
the end of our story. And definitely stick around for what's coming in 2026. We've got some new David Robles game, hopefully, which I'm very excited about. And we're gonna make Cam make a decision about something.
And that's
gonna
the
be great.
whole game.
That is it. Just making Cam decide something.
Make Cam decide.
And much more Inferno, much more guide to Hell on our live stream. David, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I completely forgot because now I just thought about of designing a game of nothing but red herons and asking Cam to play in it. And just
Red
That would be
herring,
so funny. I'm down.
red
You run it,
herons,
I'll do
not
it.
the same as red herrings.
It's called red herons. Good. They could be right.
just because they squawk.
I
Mads
want
is
to
in
leave
it.
everybody on this note, okay?
Uh-huh.
My character's power will be to turn into a gun or a sword. Good
Of
night.
course it will.
We love you all very much. Stick around, get in the Discord. We would love to see you and play and just talk with you. We're a bunch of nerds and we love you guys very much. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We'll be
Take
seeing
care.
you. Bye.
Feliz Navidad.